Tonight, we are just continuing from Monday, where we talked about the introduction to the Web 3.0 overall ecosystem, as well as the metaverse. So in today's talk, we'll be talking about wallet setups, what are they, and the types. And we'll be talking about what on-ramping is, and including what off-ramping is. And eventually, Julia will be taking on the session on how to actually set up the wallet itself. Yeah, so let's dive into it. So what is a Web3 wallet? It's simply a digital wallet that can be used to store digital assets. So you've heard of Bitcoin, Ether, Matic, Algorand, Avalanche, and so on. Those are all cryptocurrencies, and they are fungible tokens, right? As mentioned, anything that is exchangeable one-to-one is fungible, and anything that's not exchangeable, which is very unique, it's called a non-fungible token. And in short, it's called an NFT. So we're all about NFTs, and if you look at a wallet at the bottom right here, you will find that in this particular wallet, there is on one side the category of tokens, and then on this side you have the category of NFTs. So whenever you purchase an NFT, you should be able to find that inside your wallet as soon as the transaction is completed. So you also see a receive, a send, and a swap. So basically, you can send your cryptocurrency or your NFT over to somebody else. You can also just do a swap with someone else, which is a one-to-one direct swap, which can be done all on the wallet. So why do we need a Web3 wallet? Essentially, is to help you to gain access into the Web3 economy, because without a wallet, there's no way you can contain that value and be able to transfer that value to someone else. So it is also the identity key to yourself, because your wallet will carry a public key address of your wallet, but people won't know who you are behind the wallet, because it's not like on Facebook or Instagram, for example, where you've revealed everything over to the two platforms. So the wallet now becomes a very private identity of yourself, where you're only representing yourself and your tokens, be it cryptocurrency or NFTs, by the public key of your wallet address, and that's it. So if somebody wanted to transfer any funds to you, or even transfer an NFT to you, what they'll need is your public key. And then with your private key, you'll be able to sign the transaction and be able to then verify that you're the person, and you'll be able to get that token, and or whether it's a crypto or an NFT. We'll talk a little bit more about public and private keys in the next couple of slides. So it's also for buying and trading cryptocurrencies, as mentioned, right? And whenever you want to buy cryptocurrencies or NFTs, you need to link up with a site, right? So you use your wallet kind of like a passport, and you're moving around Web3. And in future, when you move in and out of the metaverse as well. Now, all these platforms, they're all called decentralized applications. I mentioned again in the first workshop what decentralization is by explaining Web3. Now, each of these apps that have the platform that you want to link to, they're called decentralized applications because they're on Web3. So, and the wallet is also used for paying gas fees. Okay, so whenever we make a transaction on the blockchain in Web 3.0, someone on the blockchain, a particular blockchain, will have to be paid to ensure that that transaction is recorded, right? Okay, so today there's what you call in Bitcoin, it's called proof of work. It's still proof of work, and there will be validators who are called miners, who are paid for recording the transaction from the debit to the credit, right? For the ledger to be recorded. So in more recent blockchains like Algorand, Solana, Avalanche, those blockchains are based on proof of stake. So there'll be people out there that are staking those utility coins of those blockchains, and they are doing the validation work. So we're using the wallet and the cryptocurrency that you hold of that blockchain to pay the gas fees of the stakers or the miners in that blockchain, to pay them for the work they're doing on that blockchain to record your transaction on the ledger. Okay, so the wallet does many things. So what are the types of Web3 wallets? You've got the hot wallet, the cold wallet, and the paper-based wallet. In a wallet, there's the public key and there's the private key. So the private key is a very secret key that you cannot reveal to anybody, right? Because it's like the keys to the vault of your safe, right? If somebody takes the keys, they can open up the vault, and that's the end of your vault, right? Everything gets stolen. So in a paper wallet, what we're just trying to say is that if you have any cryptocurrencies and you're keeping it within a wallet, there are 3 levels of wallets. Okay, so the hot wallet is the most active, you can easily connect, and the most insecure. The cold wallet is such that you can take that private key and move it off your computer and store it in the hardware. And the hardware is kind of like a thumb drive. It can even be like a hard disk, where you will store your private key, and there are usually different levels of authentication before you can reveal that private key. If you want to be even more secure, you take that private key and you write it on a piece of paper and you store it in your safe at home. That is a paper-based wallet. When you are connected with the internet and you are linked up with the decentralized application, you're most likely to be using a hot wallet. Okay, so now the hot wallet can be of 2 types of hot wallets again. It can be a custodial or a non-custodial. So custodial is typically those found on a centralized exchange. If you were to purchase, let's say, a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, and you had some fiat in your bank account, and you wanted to convert that fiat, which is the cash, over into Bitcoin, you need to firstly join a centralized exchange in order to transfer that fiat into Bitcoin. The exchange is the custodial of your wallet, and they hold your private keys. So for example, if you go to Binance, Gemini, or Coinbase, for example, and you want to convert your US dollars into Bitcoin, they hold the private key to the custodial wallet that's on the platform, issued by the platform, which is a centralized exchange, to you. And you cannot pull that custodial wallet away from them because it's part of their platform. Okay. Now, if you wanted to move that crypto that you just bought, which is Bitcoin, out and hold the private keys and control and manage the funds, which is the Bitcoin, into your personal ownership control, that's where you need to have a non-custodial wallet, which Julia is going to explain how we can set up that wallet shortly. Okay, so some of these non-custodial wallets, they could be Metamask Wallet, Phantom Wallet, Trust Wallet, Empire, Coinbase. So some of the centralized exchanges also issue non-custodial wallets as well, so as to facilitate your easier movement of funds across different decentralized applications. Yeah. In the Web3 wallet landscape, so I just mentioned that there's the hot, cold wallet, and then the paper wallet, and also the custodial and the non-custodial. Okay, so another layer of complexity, but once you get hold of the understanding and the logic, it's actually very simple, right? So it might appear complex, but it's actually very rational. So you have those first 2 layers, yeah, because you have the kinds of wallets, hot, cold, paper wallet, and then you have the custodial and non-custodial. Now, the next thing to know is that each of these wallets are typically accessible to certain blockchains, right? Because there's no one single wallet today that is able to connect with every blockchain. So you'll see on this slide here, for example, in the hot wallet, non-custodial, Metamask is the wallet we'd like to have you on board today because it was one of the first, and it was invented by a company called Consensus. Consensus started by one of the co-founders of Ethereum, and they created the Metamask wallet so that it would be able to recognize the largest number of blockchains in Web3, and it holds both cryptocurrencies and NFTs, which is fantastic. And it's non-custodial, which means to say that you are holding the private keys. You have full control over your funds and your NFTs. Then on the top here, you have the hot wallet custodial, which we mentioned earlier. These are such that they are inseparable from the exchange, the platform, and they hold the private key, right? So then when we jump back to the non-custodial hot wallet, as we mentioned earlier, like MetaMask, there are other wallets that are only accessible to certain blockchains. Like for Ethereum, these are the wallets that are accessible to it. And for Algorand, for example, these are the ones accessible to it. Yeah, but we would say that MetaMask is very good because firstly, it's free to use. It's very robust. Its security is impeccable because it was one of the first few wallets that was created as non-custodial. Venly here is such that you actually have to pay for the wallet. But it makes the onboarding process very simple with just an email address. Now, the Wallet Connect is an incredible tool because we have this on the platform LFM as well, because you might be owning a different wallet, and Wallet Connect enables your other wallet, for example, any one of these, to connect, even though our primary wallet to be used on the platform of LFM is the MetaMask wallet. So that kind of concludes the part on wallets. Now, another level of understanding of the wallets that you need to know is how to move fiat, which is your typical government-issued currencies like US dollars, Singapore dollars, Euro, JPY, the yen, Australian, Canadian, whatever it is, to a cryptocurrency, right? So it's called on-ramping. The moment you change from fiat into cryptocurrency, it's called on-ramping. So ramps are when you change from fiat to crypto and from crypto back to fiat. So from crypto to fiat, we call it off-ramping. So that's on the right. And currently, the most robust way to do this is that when you have set up a wallet and you want to purchase some NFTs, right? And you need to purchase cryptocurrencies in order to then buy those NFTs, because you can't just use fiat to buy NFTs. This is the nature of Web3, because the currency is going to be used to pay for the gas fees to mint the NFT, which you will receive in your wallet. So you can't simply just use US dollars to pay for the NFT. So this is a very primary question that a lot of people ask. Why can't I just use my US dollars to pay for an NFT? So you can't, because they both have to be on the same blockchain. That cryptocurrency that you need to purchase with your US dollars, that cryptocurrency has to be on the same blockchain as where your NFT is going to be minted. So if you got that one clear, now how do you then move the fiat over into cryptocurrency? So there are a number of payment gateway providers, one of which we really like is MoonPay, because MoonPay has many different regulated branches across the world. So they're open to many countries. Right? So MoonPay is a payment gateway provider, but they still rely on the credit card provider, which is Visa and MasterCard. So if you're selling some NFT to someone in the UK or in Australia or Singapore, it's not an issue at all because these are not sanctioned countries. Right? Now, on the other side, when someone has bought that cryptocurrency and has now paid you in that cryptocurrency, how do you then change that cryptocurrency back into fiat again? So this is where the off-ramping comes in. In on-ramping, there are three ways. Credit cards is the simplest, but credit cards are typically limited to maybe $4,000 or $5,000 US dollars in per transaction. For wire, there's a larger fee. It's usually a flat fee like $8 to $25 per transaction, just to change that fiat into cryptocurrency. And the third one is through a clearing house. But clearinghouse is only available for Americans currently and for the Euro community. So for Americans to be going through the automated clearinghouse, we call it ACH, and then the next one will be SCP for Euro, which means to say someone who wants to convert fiat into crypto can link up their bank account through either the ACH or SCP to convert their fiat into crypto in order to pay for your NFTs, because your NFTs may be very expensive, for example. But if your NFT is very expensive and yet a person is on-ramping using credit card, they can do it multiple times, right? They can do it multiple times, and then they can accumulate that value of fiat into cryptocurrencies before they make the purchase. Another good news is that in future LFM, we're going to be offering like an afterpay system where you can actually break it down into installment payments, and possibly even longer than what afterpay provides, right? USDC is a coin that is one-to-one equivalent with the US dollar, and in our platform, we want our NFTs to be priced as USDCs. That way, no longer how much time it takes for the transaction to be finalized and the revenue paid to you, there won't be any fluctuations in the currency. So in our platform, we only want to be able to use cryptocurrencies for minting, whereas for the payment of the actual NFT is going to be in US dollars. So by next year, before the end of the year, we'll be able to give you a on-platform method to on-ramp from fiat into USDC and then off-ramp from USDC into fiat. But right now, within this period, most users, everybody else is following the system on the right for off-ramping. I've explained on-ramping on the left. Now I'm going to explain off-ramping on the right. So off-ramping, when you convert your crypto to fiat, in order for you to then recognize your revenue in your bank, since you're a launcher, you've collected these USDCs that have been paid out by the LFM platform. Now that has gone into your wallet, right? And you now want to convert it back into fiat. So the best way to do it currently, before LFM provides the on and off ramping with Circle as a collaborator effort, you will have to set up an account with a centralized exchange. Okay? So we've identified some of the best centralized exchanges. So Gemini is one of them. Gemini is from the US. They have a very robust licensing under the New York Stock SEC, the New York exchange side, and they constantly undergo licensing and regulatory audits every single year. The other one is Crypto.com. Crypto.com comes from Hong Kong. They were advertising a lot, and their fees are also relatively low. I think Crypto.com is somewhere in the region of about, I think, 1 to 2%. Gemini is possibly even lower than that. Circle is what I mentioned earlier, where we will provide the system eventually to do the on and off ramping on our platform. If you're interested, I can give you the exact numbers of how much it costs for on ramping between the credit card. And even for the credit card payment processors, right, they have different rates, right? So the rates will include their processing fees, the gas fees, and so on. And then I also give you the rate for wiring, and also ACH and SCP if you're interested on the left side on the on ramping, and on the off ramping, how much it will cost for you to off ramp on the central exchanges like Gemini and Crypto.com, for example. I would say in total, right, when you launch an NFT, prepare to put aside in your NFT pricing around 5%, okay, additional to cater to these costs. Now, if we were just selling everyday goods, it will be a key issue because then people are very price sensitive, right? But when it comes to NFTs which are of high value, and we believe that if your NFTs are very unique and of high value, most of your purchasers won't be looking at that additional 5% because they won't know, right? They won't know. They will just be looking at the value of your NFT. So pricing around a 5% margin in order to cover these costs. Now, if you look to the right, there's a table here. Okay, so this table will show that this item is 112 USDC, which is equivalent to 112 US dollars. There are about 5 to 6 different stable coins, and we feel that USDC by Circle is probably the most reputable because they have a one-to-one backing with US dollar, and they will never fail. Yeah, so the payments and payouts on the LFM platform will be in USDC, but to mint the NFT, you will need to have some Matic, which is running on the Polygon blockchain inside your wallet as well. So every time you mint an NFT, one NFT might cost you probably less than $1, right?
And what does it mean to mint an NFT? Minting an NFT basically means that you are paying for the transaction fee that are meant to be transacted for a recording, for creation of NFT and recording NFT on the blockchain.
In the blockchain world, it's all based on the technology called cryptography. Now, cryptography is a record of data that represents the transfer of assets between one party to the other. Okay, so this transaction record has to be protected by 2 keys. They are owned by every single user, represented by his or her wallet. So your wallet will always have 2 keys, a public key and a private key. So without the public key and private key matching in a transaction, the transaction cannot move ahead. If you were to send some money to somebody else, you got to find that other person's public key. And then with your wallet, you will encrypt and send out a transaction code over to the other person's wallet. And that other person's wallet will then match with that person's private key. And for sure, that person is the correct recipient that you're sending off to. And that's it. It's the same in a sale of NFT, between a buyer and seller, except that the platform which is launched for me here, LFM, would be managing this transaction. Nobody else has the right to know your private key as long as it's non-custodial. Now, on launch for me, we are a non-custodial platform. We do not hold anybody's wallets, and therefore we only link up with your wallet so that your wallet can mint the NFT or sell the NFT and collect the revenue, okay, as a brand launcher. And then for a purchaser, it'll be where you can on-ramp into cryptocurrency, USDC, in order to pay for the NFT. And then the NFT is dropped in your wallet. Okay, so every time, even when it's a transfer of NFTs, there is a matching between a public and private key. Yeah, okay, so we'll get into that further when we get to the point. Final step, which is to help you understand how to onboard on a wallet. And Julia is going to take over this one. Okay, so do you want to start from here?
Yes, I'm very excited about the onboarding process. And finally, after all this theory, we can actually get our hands on practical experience. So a little bit more about Metamask. Metamask is actually Ethereum-based hot wallet that is non-custodial, and that was set up first by the founders of Ethereum blockchain. Co-founder of Ethereum blockchain, and it was first set up in 2016. So before 2019, only desktop version was available, and after 2019, the mobile version was available as well. So Metamask is still today considered one of the most popular hot wallets, with the number of users over 30 million. It's very secure. It's very hard to break through that wallet, even though it's a hot wallet. Till today, it's considered one of the most secure wallets. The only reason why some of the people could suffer some hacking is because they were unsecure with their private keys. What private keys are all about, I'm going to explain you later. It's very interactive, so the interface of Metamask is very simple to use and very simple to understand. It is a hybrid wallet. Hybrid means that it can contain and can hold both cryptocurrencies, which are considered to be assets, as well as the NFTs, which is your non-fungible tokens. It is multi-chain based. Basically, this wallet could be residing on the different types of blockchains, such as Ethereum, Polygon, and many other ones. And it also provides easy on-ramping and off-ramping. All right, some of the best practices and behaviors before we go into the actual wallet setup. You need to first go to Metamask, metamask.io, and only there, from there, you can navigate to set up your wallet. You need to create a unique and secure password, something that is not trivial. Your private keys, which is your seed phrase, should never be shared with anyone. You have to connect to only websites and platforms you trust, not the fishy ones. Keep other browser and windows closed while you're browsing MetaMask on the desktop, and log out from the MetaMask whenever you do not use it. All right, as I mentioned, that first step that we need to do is to go to the metamask.io. From here, we click download. We will be navigated, taken to a different tab where we need to add extension to the Chrome. So we just add to the Chrome an extension. And it also redirects us to a different Chrome extension. By the way, if I navigate back, so now we are on the page where MetaMask actually welcomes us to set up. So when we add MetaMask, we also can pin it over here to the top of the extensions and navigate by clicking MetaMask over here when the tab is closed. So now we proceed to get started. And from here, MetaMask tells us what it will never do to the to your account. So it's very important to mark it. And after we read all these points, we agree and proceed further. From here, it shows us two different tracks. So the first track is meant for people who already own the wallet and they want to import their created wallet to the desktop extension. The other tab shows us that we have not created the wallet, and for the sake of this experience, we click on this tab and proceed with creation of our new fresh wallet. At this point of time, we need to create a very unique and very secure password. Because I have already created one, the best practice is to type your password first and then copy it and paste it into the required fields. This is the best practice. So your password won't be forgotten and won't be lost. And then we click create. At this point of time, MetaMask encourages us to watch the video to understand what are the seed phrase and a secure recovery phrase is all about. So let's watch.
Metamask is a new way to connect to sites and applications. On traditional websites, a central database or bank is responsible for controlling and recovering your accounts. But on Metamask, all of the power belongs to the holder of a master key. Whoever holds the key controls the accounts. Your secret recovery phrase is your master key. It's a series of 12 words that are generated when you first set up Metamask, which allow you to recover your wallet and funds if you ever lose access. It's important that you secure your wallet by keeping your secret recovery phrase very safe and very secret. If anyone gets access to it, they will have the master key to your wallet and can freely access and take all of your funds. To secure your MetaMask wallet, you'll want to safely save your secret recovery phrase. You can write it down, hide it somewhere, put it in a safe deposit box, or use a secure password manager. Some users even engrave their phrase onto a metal plate. Nobody, not even the team at MetaMask, can help you recover your wallet if you lose your secret recovery phrase. If you haven't written down your secret recovery phrase and stored it somewhere safe, do it now. We'll wait. And remember, never share your secret recovery phrase with anyone, not even us. If anyone ever asks you for it, they're trying to scam you. That's it. Now you know what a secret recovery phrase is and how to keep your wallet safe and secure.
I hope it was quite informative for you. So basically, these are the notes by the Metamask of what we need to do, how to save a secret phrase. You can save the password manager. You can bank vault. You can save deposit box while store multiple secret places. You should never share your Metamask secret phrase, because this is your real access to the account, to your wallet. Account always equals wallet.
Yeah, the secret recovery phrase is actually the private key.
It's a private key.
Yeah,
yes.
as we mentioned earlier on, yeah.
They call it private key, they call it secret recovery phrase, and they call it seed phrase. There are three names, different names for the same very thing. So we proceed to the next step. So now when I press on this lock, your recovery secret recovery phrase will be unlocked, after which we have to copy it and save it together with our password. I'm going to save it. And proceed to the next step. At this point of time, Metamask requires us to write this phrase, to select this disorderly organized words from the phrase in the correct order. So my first word was script. I look for script. I click script, then repair, then father, galaxy, anxiety, exhibit, label, nurse, mystery, glass, depend, and erode. So we have fully done the right sequence of our secret recovery phrase. After that, we confirm and proceed to the next step. Congratulations, we just set up a new Metamask wallet. Once we set it up, we click hold down and proceed to the wallet inside. So now we landed on the page of the wallet. So this tab shows the different types of networks that we can connect. For instance, currently I'm connected to the Ethereum mainnet network. However, LFM is going to reside on the Polygon network. And for that matter, once I created my Metamask wallet, I have to add a network called Polygon mainnet network. I add and approve it. Network added successfully, and I switch to the Polygon network. Now I'm currently at the Polygon mainnet, and the currency of the Polygon is called Matic. So from this interface, I can see that I can buy currency, I can send currency, I can swap currency. This tab shows the assets. Assets means the number of different cryptocurrencies that you own. Currently, we haven't actually bought anything. That's why this tab doesn't show anything. So we go back. And this tab is showing our activity. However, I have to mention something here. On the mobile app, you will see this tab NFTs. However, Metamask is set up in the way on the desktop that you cannot see NFTs on the desktop. You can only view them and transfer them from your mobile app. So using this Metamask wallet requires you to be on the Polygon mainnet in order to do transfer of NFTs and different cryptocurrencies, as well as pay for the gas fees, and reside on the Polygon mainnet. This circle actually shows your actual account. If we go back to settings, it shows you different tabs related to settings. I strongly suggest you not to do any adjustments over here. Just go with the default settings and you will be good to go. So general settings shows us that we are actually currently using US dollars. We can purchase with US dollars, but we can select different types of currencies over here. We are a primary currency that is on Polygon blockchain is Matic. Language, the theme, and the account identicom. which is this type of circle. Advanced case control, yes, you want to see it. Token detection, it means that all the tokens that you have bought will be shown, even have bought, or even those that you don't currently have will be shown as well. This data and the rest you don't have to. Auto lock timer is a feature that you may want to actually set up unless you know for sure how many minutes you're going to use MetaMask. So if you set up, for instance, 15 to 30 minutes, that means that your MetaMask wallet will be automatically closed and you will be logged out. Once it happens, it requires you to use your password to log into MetaMask wallet again.
Right. Just remember that the password is not the seed phrase. Okay? The password is the one that just allows you to enter into the wallet.
Yes.
But the seed phrase is actually the private key.
The seed phrase, your private key, is always acting in the background, and it's not visible. It shouldn't be visible to anyone, and you should never grant the knowledge of your seed phrase to anyone. It only has to be known to you, nobody else. Contacts is where you can build your contact list. So why it's needed to be here is because sometimes you find that you're transacting with certain person much often. So you would like to actually have that person's public address over here. So what it means is that when you click on the scan QR code over here and grant access to your camera, right, you can actually scan the public keys of someone else you would like to include into your list. And their public keys will be reflected over here and go into your contact list. Alerts, I do not suggest to touch anything here. Networks, this is what I just explained, and how we edit Polygon mainnet to be a mainnet right now. So this is currently what we are residing on. And experimental, I also suggest not to touch. And that's about it in terms of settings. So there are also these three dots over here that shows your account due to the Explorer. So when you click on this tab, it will navigate us to the Explorer that shows exactly your public key over here and the different number of transactions under your account. Currently, we haven't transacted, so nothing is shown over here, but this is basically what everybody can see, because Polyscan, it's a special site that makes all transactions, blockchain transactions, available for everybody's to view. Because blockchain is it's an open source.
Polyscan is dedicated to the Polygon blockchain, and in the future, when you are transacting any NFTs on LFM platform, each sale or purchase would be recorded on the Polyscan site, which shows the records on the Polygon blockchain.
That's right.
Right.
So now we're on the tab that shows your actual account details. So the QR code is actually reflects your public keys. So public keys, we just spoke a lot about it, is something that you need to give to someone if you want that person to transact something to you, whether it's a cryptocurrency assets or whether it's an NFT. So in the future, for instance, if you would like cryptocurrency or NFTs to be transferred to you, this is something that you need to grant to the person who will be transferring it to you. Or that person can actually simply scan your QR code and he will get these public keys available. So this is the same Polyscan navigation as I just showed you, and exporting private keys. So this is your public keys, but that are interpreted, your private keys, my apologies, your private keys, but they're interpreted not in the seed phrase, but into the alphanumeric, alphanumeric depiction. So if you want to save these private keys, then you can just copy them and keep them secure. But at the same time, they tend to change as well, because cryptography is such thing that whenever you use it different times, these keys will change, but these keys will not change. your phrase will not change.
Yeah, the encryption keeps it
Secure. This is
secure.
called security in essence.
Right.
So done. I close it. One thing I would like to point out to you over here is that when you use Metamask Wallet, for security reasons, you should not have other tabs opened over here, because the other tabs may be actually spying into your wallet, inside your wallet. And if you want to keep it secure, just take it as a separate tab and close these tabs altogether and use your Metamask Wallet for as long as you need to. I think on my side, that's about it. Raymond, you just
on-ramping and off-ramping?
on-ramping and off-ramping, I would suggest to take it separate, because it's a separate, it's quite heavy topic.
Heavy, right? Okay.
And we need to take it separately. So, but basically, when we go into on-ramping, Raymond just spoke about different on-rampers, which is Transact, MoonPay, Wire, and the other ones. And these are the on-rampers that you can choose and select to help you buy cryptocurrency.
Right. Okay. Sure. So, would you like to show the other video?
The other video,
Yeah, the video of Metamask. I think you can just type out a new address, Metamask.io, and then you can see. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we'll just show everyone the video from Metamask for better understanding of what Metamask is trying to achieve. You just scroll down and we'll find it. Right. Okay. Okay. Let's see this.
This is Sam. Sam uses the internet just like the rest of us. Lots of apps she uses seem to be free, but they actually come at a cost. She knows the internet isn't very secure and strangers own her data. Credit cards are stolen, identities get hacked. She has to navigate a maze of ads just to surf the web, and she knows someone is always watching. But she's heard there's a better way. And then Sam sees it, the promise of a new internet powered by the Ethereum blockchain, an amazing combination of technologies the world is building together that are reinventing how we connect to one another. And it's just within her reach. But to access this new world, she needs the right tools. Meet Metamask, your connection to the new way. Metamask is the tool Sam needs to access this new world. It's a key that connects her to new types of applications. It's a wallet that keeps her data and valuables safe and sound. And it's a shield that protects her from hackers and data collectors. With Metamask, Sam is ready to explore this new internet safely and securely. The possibilities are endless. Sam can use next-generation applications that give control back to the users and the community, own her data, and move seamlessly between sites, and send money across the world at a fraction of the cost. Create new organizations with new currencies that bind her communities together, crowdsource projects and art, or invest in other people's creations. Sound too good to be true? Well, with great freedom comes great responsibility. Sam controls her own identity on this new internet. No more new passwords for every site she visits. Just a secret phrase that controls her accounts. This phrase is her login, her password, and her proof of ownership, all wrapped up in one. So Sam has to keep it as safe as she possibly can. Now that she's installed Metamask, Sam's ready to explore the best version of the internet. Vote, crowdfund, buy stuff, publish writing, make art, hire freelancers. What will Sam do first? Whatever she wants. The internet is hers to explore. Welcome to a new kind of internet. Welcome to Metamask.
Yeah, you noticed when Sam registered her wallet, right? The fox face fell onto her head, right? So as I mentioned earlier, the wallet becomes your personal identity, which is very powerful in Web 3.0 when you move across the different ecosystem to link up with different apps for different applications. Yeah.
Yes, and the wallet also actually secures your identity because with this wallet you don't actually have to input any email address, any names, particular names. You can call your account and rename your account under a different name. It's all up to you. And MetaMask will never store your information, your personal information. It only collects information in terms of how many times you logged in order to improve their software for the users.
So that's the power of Web 3.0 and the power of the wallet. On-ramping and off-ramping, we will continue in probably the next 1 or 2 workshops when we start to look at the crafting of assets for NFTs. So just to conclude here, we want to say that thank you for attending. And in the next workshop, we will be talking about part 1, how to craft assets for airdrops. And then in part 2, how to craft assets for NFTs, right? So at the very point in time, we'll probably cover a bit of the on-ramping, off-ramping as well. Yeah.
By the way, if you have any questions right now, we will be happy to take them. All
So
right.
if you don't, I just maybe like the last workshop, I just talk a bit about from your point of view. So how do I get started, right? In the first workshop, I asked the question, how do I get started in Web 3.0? So I explained how it's important to first get to know all the components of Web3 as we had gone through the workshop. But in this workshop, what you could do is really go in and try MetaMask. Okay? Go in and try registering yourself a wallet. Don't be afraid because you're not going to give any information away to MetaMask. You notice just now what Juliet did was very, very simple. And you didn't have to give anything else except for perhaps your...
Just one more point over here. If you install your MetaMask just for the practice sake, first of all, and you want to get rid of your MetaMask, practically because it's an open source, it's written on open source protocol, and once you install your MetaMask, it will always reside there. However, if you haven't been using it and you want to get rid of it and reset up a new account altogether, you can just go to the extension over here and basically check your extension and go into these 3 dots and remove it from Chrome. So what it does is that it removes your extension altogether from here, and you will be ready to go into MetaMask IO and reset up a new account from the scratch again.
And I think they'll feel comfortable with it. In the next workshop, we might use the same wallet to on-ramp by purchasing a little bit of Matic.
Yes.
Right. And then when you buy a little bit of Matic and you keep it there for a couple of days, couple of weeks, you feel comfortable with it because you're getting to feel how it's like to purchase cryptocurrencies and even be able to purchase NFTs in the future. Also, try to even sell it right off-ramp and so on. So we'll cover some of that in the next workshop. So without anything further, we'll just end the session then, Julie.
Yes, thank you very much for attending this session, and we hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions for us, you can always mail to us, support@launchforme.com, and we'll be happy to answer your questions.
All right. Thank you for your attendance. See you in the next workshop.
Thank you for your attendance. See you in the next workshop
Bye.
next Wednesday. Bye-bye.